TBC, this is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. And guys, in this video, I'm going to respond to Mr. Dontae Gilbert. And he asked me about, Coach, how do you select a good church, okay? This topic, man, it really is one of these topics, man, that, is very controversial. And for me, point blank, man, I'm going to just tell you, like, the real stuff about churches, okay? A lot of us attend church in the YTBC. I attend church because I enjoy listening to what my pastor is saying. I enjoy that. Now, am I the most holiest Christian? No. I can tell you right now, no. I still got a potty mouth. I still use bad language sometimes. But, that's the thing. Going to church don't make you a perfect person. And you ain't supposed to be perfect going to church. You're supposed to be going to get a message, man, to improve your life. So that's what I think of church, okay? All right, so the first thing, man, when I go into a church, and I'm going to start it now, is that if I sit down, man, and I really sat down and I sit in the church, I observe the church, okay? And first of all, I always want to go to a church that's teaching, man. They're teaching a message, not singing the message, not dancing the message, not, doing all kind of crazy stuff at the front of the pulpit. No, man. I want a pastor, knowledgeable pastor, that's going to sit there and teach the message, man. See, you go into some churches, man, where you got people, man, doing cartwheels and running around the damn place, man. And, when they do that stuff, they're taking away from the pastor's message, man. And it used to irritate me, man. Like, before I found the church that I go to, I was in this one church, man. I gave it a couple of weeks, man, to try to, because everybody been telling me it's a great church, it's this, it's that. And, man, this one lady got up, man. She took a sprint, ran around the church in a circle, did a cartwheel, man. And, this older lady, man, had on one of them little, the flower hats. And, dude, she did a cartwheel, ran around the church. I mean, that funniest damn thing I ever seen. So you can imagine, man, like, I'm sitting there, I ain't heard nothing that the pastor said because I'm looking at this damn crazy lady run around the church, and they say, oh, man, that's normal, man. She got the spirit in her. Hey, man, listen. See, one thing, too, man, talking to members of a church, man, you can think you're talking to some crazy people, man, because they don't read the Bible. Now, see, I read the Bible, and, when Jesus was giving church service and he was deciding, man, wasn't nobody running around the damn church in a circle. I mean, nah, man, Jesus was up there teaching, man. He wasn't up there, man, singing and just doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff at the front of the pulpit when he was talking to people. Jesus wasn't doing that, man. And see, I kind of base everything off what was Jesus doing. That's what I do. But if the pastor up there, and I'm not picking on pastors, man. Don't misconstrue this video. Like, I'm not, one of these people that making fun of. I'm talking about, like, you have the pastors, man, that's, well, and the Lord is doing this. And then you have the person playing the organ. And the person playing the organ, now y'all got to get this. That's the person that set this whole damn thing up. Because when they start playing that organ, it's like something get into all these people, man, when that person start playing that darn organ. And then you hear the pastor, he talking, well, and I got this going on. And then they start playing that organ. And then the pastor start dancing. And then when that person go, they play the organ, the pastor start dancing. The brothers of the church start dancing, and then the members get up and start dancing. The pastor done got 5 words out of his mouth, and dang it, that joke at the front of the pulpit, dancing. So I ain't learned nothing. I just learned, okay, he's a good dancer. I look around the church, everybody dancing. Okay, remember, that's okay sometimes, but not up to every 5 words that the pastor's saying. So, my thing is, are they teaching you something, or are they teaching you just how to dance? You see, you got to go to a church, man. You got to go to a church where the pastor is up there teaching, man. They ain't allowing all that crazy stuff, man. Because, see, at the end of the day, man, the pastor is charged, man. His responsibility is to teach you the word of God. That's his responsibility, man. And I'm sorry, man. I can't get with the pastor up there, dancing and I can't do it. My pastor, we don't do that, man. Like, he up there, he's teaching, man. He's teaching. He's actually teaching. Ain't nobody running around our church cutting a cartwheel, man. Don't nobody do that, man. He talked about that. My pastor talked about it. He said, man, look. He said, when people do that, that's taken away from the message, man, that God putting out there. It's taken away from the message. And he said, man, he don't allow that. He said, man, if you think the spirit hit you, and it's funny, he said it. He said, then tell the Holy Spirit to let you finish listening to the message, okay, that God put forth. See, there's nothing bigger than God. I've learned that too, man. So, I learned that. The next thing, man, Now, this is where things get real crafty, man. Okay, the money. Now, I understand, man, churches, they need a little money, man, to keep the church going and doing things. But let's look at this, man. You got to go to a church, man, and it doesn't matter where the church is, man. If your church is in a bad community, then that church need to be doing stuff in that community. Church is taking a whole lot of money. Don't let them give you that song and dance where they don't make no money. Churches make a lot of money, okay? Even your smallest churches can take in a pretty good sum of money every week, okay? They do. And if you got a church in a bad neighborhood and the church is the cleanest thing on the street, the church don't do any outreach programs, they don't do anything, man, don't go to that church. If you roll by the church during the week, the church closed all the time, listen, don't go to that church. Because their whole purpose is to collect a lot of money. I'm trying to tell y'all, dog, I done been through this. I done been through this so many times, y'all. I'm right now, I'm trying to teach some of you guys how to avoid this trap, man. You'll save your money. You won't be so much in debt, man. Because a church can put you in debt. I'm telling you, man, they can. Man, like they collecting tithes, man. And every time you turn around, they collecting another kind of tithe. I understand, giving a tithe, giving some money to the church, and then, maybe giving a little bit, man, to help out. Like if they're doing something like, yeah, we're trying to do this for the community, give a little bit extra. That's fine. See, all that stuff is good. And good churches are going to do that. But I'm talking about every time you turn around, man, they're asking you for money, man, for stuff, crazy stuff, man. Like my pastor ain't never asked me for no money, man. Look, we finna get a private jet. He ain't never asked me for no money for nothing stupid like that. He'll ask, look, I need y'all to give a little bit extra, man, because we're trying to get this outreach program going. We want to get all these book bags. We want to do this. We want to bring people. See, that kind of stuff, yeah, I'll do that in a minute. My pastor come on, hey, well, we need a brand new jet, and man, my pastor ever did that, I'm out the door. I'm gone, okay? But he don't do that. We don't do telethons. We don't do any of that, man. He just come in and he preached the word of God, okay? Now, let's talk about the pastor. Let's talk about him, his personality. Listen, man, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Your pastor should be a man of integrity. He should be a man of integrity at all times, okay? Like my pastor, the first day I joined the church, man, he gave me his phone number. He said, listen, if you ever have a problem, and your pastor should be accessible, man. No matter how big the church is, your pastor should know you, and he should be accessible to you. And he said, if you have a problem, he said, don't hesitate. You call me. This is my direct number. I will answer you within 24 hours. That's what he said. And true to form, man, my pastor answered me within 3 hours. If I have to call him, man, because our church is pretty decent sized church, so it's a lot of people to keep up with. And I'm sure people call him on a regular, but if I call him, man, look, he called me back within 2 to 3 hours, man. I mean, that's what he does, okay? My pastor don't play around with this, man. This ain't a game to him, man. This is life. This is your life that this man really thinks about, man. This ain't a game to him. So, I mean, he got to be accessible. If your pastor ain't accessible, and you try to get to him, and you try to go up and talk to him, and you can't talk to him, and you got like 5 or 6 bodyguards trying to, man, you got to get out of there. Because, see, when you have something go down for real, he ain't going to be able to help you, man. And you're going to be in trouble before you know it. I mean, seriously, man. Because you've been and gave all your money away to that church for the week, and you can't even talk to the man. You can't walk down to the front of the pulpit, man, and have a conversation with him. I mean, man. You got to go. And 2, man, we going to keep talking about the pastor, okay? See, I don't mind. A pastor, man, people get it misconstrued with pastors, man. Pastors do a lot in the church. I'm talking about real pastors. I ain't talking about these ones that just show up on Sunday and take the money. A real pastor, man, they working daily, man. Like my pastor, man, he got a schedule, man. Mondays are his day off. Tuesdays, man, he's at the hospital, man, with children, man. He's up there with them. Some of the kids that got sick, he's up there with them. Okay, Wednesdays, man, is the men day. Take all the men in the church, man, and he just, he talk to them, man, and get them going with activities. Thursday, he's at another church, man. He goes to other churches, smaller churches, and he preaches the word to them, man. Friday, he's doing like a lot of building stuff, man. I mean, he's actually doing stuff around the church, man. Like our pastor, man, we don't hire somebody, a landscaper, dude. This man said, nah, I like, it's a big yard, man, and pastor just get out there and he do all the landscaping himself. That's what he like to do. And he do it, man. He works around the church. Friday's his day. He do stuff around the church, cleaning. I mean, you got a pastor, man, doing stuff that, that he would assign somebody else to do, but he do these things. He do it. And 2, man, where he live ain't no secret, man. He tell you exactly where he live. Look, this is my address. If anything go down, you come here. The dude is a class act. And he's a very successful man. I mean, he's written a couple of books, man. And he used to be like he was a tennis pro at one time, long back in the 70s. But the late 70s, man, my pastor played tennis, man. He was a tennis pro. And he also sometimes on the side, he'll give tennis lessons, man. He just do that for fun. But, you know, he's definitely, man, he's a man of valor, man. And I can appreciate this guy. Because when I joined this church, man, he took me to the side and said, look, man, you a young guy. He said, man, you got a lot of stuff going on with yourself. He said, listen, man, I want you to start taking these children to another level. That's what he told me. That's what he told me. He didn't even know me, but that's what he told me. So I said, okay, cool. That's it. That's what's up. All right. Now, let's kind of stay on the pastor, man. Let's really stay on this guy. The pastor, man. Buddy, if you have a pastor involved in a lot of allegations, you got to go, man. You got to go. Because pastors, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all think these guys, some of these guys are very, very, y'all think they honest men. They men. You got to understand that the pastor is a man. And I'm going to tell you something, man. You go to a church, man, or, a pastor, man, looking at the members, or you got like the women of the church, man, they always around him, man, always with him. Hey, look, man, he's sleeping with him. I'm telling you, man, from experience, if you got women always around him, they sleeping with him. I'm trying to tell you, man, like everywhere the pastor go, he got a group of women around him. And man, in some of these small churches, man, these women, man, they follow this pastor, they kiss his feet, they do everything for this dude, cooking for him, bringing food to church for him. Hey, man, he messing with him. You better go. You got a pastor, man, that's messing with the members, man, you got to go. That's not his wife, or if he married, if he's not married and he, dating one of them, then that's okay, because they're probably going to get married, or maybe they get married, I don't know. But, I'm talking about, man, if he married and you see a group of women around him and his wife ain't never around him, nah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. My pastor don't do that, man. Hey, ain't got no group of women around him. Man, we don't even do all that stuff, man. We don't have deacons. We got a pastor. That's what we have at our church. We don't have all the other mess, man. And so we don't experience a lot of the mess, man, that some of these other churches. We don't have all that mess. We don't have all these allegations running around about our pastor, man. We just don't, okay? Now, and I'm going to tell you this too, man. When you choosing a good church, man. All right. The next thing. If they preaching, man, if you got people in there, man. If you can't come as you are. If you really and truly cannot come as you are. Like if they're telling you, look, man, you need to put on a suit and a tie. Some pastors tell you that. I don't have a problem with that, man. Some people, they want to dress up for church. That's good. That's good. You should be allowed to. That's your big thing. But, if you can't come as you are. Like you can't come as you are. Because the purpose of the church is to get people off the street, man, so they'll hear the word. It's not to chase them away because they ain't got good clothes. And I've had a lot of people that they won't come to church, man. They won't go to church sometimes because they, somebody done told them, well, you ain't got no clothes. You need a pair of Sunday clothes. Are you kidding me? My pastor be like, come as you are. And the teenagers, we have a lot of teenagers go to our church, man, because they don't feel like they got to put on Sunday clothes. And ain't no kids trying to put no Sunday clothes on. And that's another thing too, man. If this church don't have programs for the kids, if they don't do nothing for these children, nah, man, don't go, because they just taking money. Do not go to that church, man. I'm trying to tell you, don't do it. Okay? And if they don't do, another thing too, man. The churches, man, they got to help people in need, man. Because see, these churches taking up a lot of money. And I'm talking about there's members going to church, man, that support the church and they do a lot of stuff, and the church don't do nothing for them, man. They just sit there and take their money. And it be members who be needing stuff, man. And at our church, man, they got this thing, man. That's called, financial assistance. You go down, you talk to the pastor. You talk to him. You fill out some forms. You telling them, what your struggle. You just tell them what the problem is. And then they help you financially, whatever it is. If you don't have a job, say our church, they help financially as long as you're actively looking for a job. And all you got to do, you just show him proof. It's just like getting, what do you call that when you lose your job? I can't remember what you call it. But it's just like that, man. You got to go out. And as long as you're actively looking for a job, he will help you. So, those are some things about a church, Dontae, man, that I think need to be in existence, man. Make sure they ain't taking up the money. Make sure they ain't running around the church. Make sure the pastor ain't sleeping with the women. I mean, man, and make sure they're doing stuff for the kids, and make sure they're doing stuff in the community. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done.